I wanted to film a quick video today. Of course, this is Nintenja, ROM hacker, game developer of sorts, writer, all that stuff, a retro lover, and former ninja, of course, obviously. And we're talking today about the Odin 3 and what I think it will be. And I'll try to explain my reasoning, and I'll break that down to you right now, right here. I think I'm the first person to do this. Maybe, maybe not, but we'll see. So right now, the Retroid Pocket 5 is releasing. You can get this dual bundle pack with both. $369. You actually save $50, and it's going to go up $10 more on the Retroid Pocket 5. So you're really saving like $80 or something like that. I mean, like $60. I'm sorry. So yeah, I mean, that's cool. If you want to get a small handheld that just kind of like fits in the pocket, and then a bigger one that you can kind of rock out and play GameCube and PS2 with the perfect GameCube color, then yeah, I think this is the way to go. Obviously, and this is cool. You got the 3.7-inch screen here. 5.5 inch there. You kind of covered. All you would need then is like an ROG Ally for Windows games, and you can get those for $400 used on eBay. As I've been preaching, you need to grab one. Good deal there. They're giving them away at this point for some reason. But yep, that's what you're looking at. And I think that this is going to inspire a change in the Odin 2, and I'll tell you why. The company, of course, is like more something. They own, apparently, allegedly, Odin and Retroid. So they're apparently two arms of the same company. I'm finding this out more and more thanks to DNA Duo Gaming. That guy's awesome, and he was talking about it, and it makes sense what he's saying. You know, there's Retroid code in the Odin or whatever. So yeah, it's there. So you got like a retro inspired, fun, smaller handheld. Then you've got the bigger one in the Ayn Odin 2. Now the Ayn Odin 2 is a beast. We all know it. Full HD, not a big deal in 2024, but, 60 hertz, needs to be 120, but it is what it is. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. We're on 8 Gen 4 coming up around like sometime November. It's going to be the thing. And that's going to be an expensive, super powerful chip. It's going to be like the RTX 4090 of chips. This is going to be more like the RTX 4070, I guess. And I guess you could call the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, the RTX 4080. So, I mean, this is still way more powerful than what the Snapdragon 865 that the Retroid Pocket is going to be using, which is basically, let's say, like a RTX 3060 at this point. Or, it's a whole generation behind. A couple years back, might be a 2080. Maybe like a RTX 2080, which is pretty far back. But I've been debating getting this myself. And what I'm thinking about when this comes out is a couple things are going to have to happen. It's got an 8,000 milliamp battery. We see that right there. One second. Okay, so I think due to the Retroid Pocket 5 getting the OLED, I think that's going to lead the Odin 2 to get the OLED. So we're going to go with, I think they're going to keep the same resolution of Full HD 1080p. 60 hertz, I think is going to boost up to 120 hertz to make it a, extra good thing. I think that's going to happen. And I think we're going to go to OLED screen. Boom, done. First problem solved. 8,000 milliamp battery. I think it's going to stay the same on the regular Odin 2. I think we're going to get that. We might boost up a little bit, but I'm thinking that's already pretty good. Hall effect sticks, all that stuff the same. The 8 Gen 2 CPU is going to go to 8 Gen 3 or the 8.3 Gen 2 or whatever it is. That slightly more powerful, more optimized process, less optimized processor that just came out. But I'm thinking it's going to be the Gen 3. They're going to boost it up. Now to make up for this OLED and this Gen 3 that we're going to get, even though we probably don't need it, but this Gen 3 we're going to get, I think they're going to eliminate the Pro model. I think they're going to have, or they're going to eliminate the Max, but it's probably going to be the Pro model they're going to eliminate and have two models. I think the base model is going to have like 10 or 12 gigabytes of RAM, and the Max is going to have 16. And I think the difference in the price is going to be that it's going to go up in price. I think it's going to be somewhere between $360 and $400 for the base model. And I think it's going to be somewhere between $430 and $500 for the Max model. I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to make this thing the premium as hell. They're going to up the price. The barrier of entry is going to up. I think they're going to still sell the Odin 2, however. And I think that it's going to probably stay at the same price, honestly. It's probably going to stay at the same price. So they'll offer these two new options. And I think that they'll probably eliminate one of these models. Either that or to come down a little bit. If they bring it down to like $250 for the base model on the Odin 2, with the 8 gigabytes of RAM, full HD, IPS panel, whatever that it's got, the 8 Gen 2 I think that 250 is going to be something. But I don't think that Odin is going to try to compete with itself, per se, with Retroid. That doesn't make sense. So maybe I'm actually wrong there, but I'm kind of speculating. But I do think it's going to go to 8 Gen 3. I do think we're going to get an OLED screen. I think that everything else is pretty much good. I think that RAM might get upped on the base model to 12 gigabytes and 16 gigabytes on the next model. And I still think they might sell the Odin 2 as well. So, maybe it's going to be one of those things. Like I said, they just changed it up. But we'll have to see, I think that it's going to get announced this Christmas. That's my guess. It's going to get announced this Christmas. And I think, that gives time for the Retroid Pocket 2 to ship. And the Retroid Pocket Mini to ship late September. Retroid Pocket 2 to ship late October. I think they're going to announce this late this Christmas. I think they're going to announce a Retroid Pocket 5 Pro of sorts. Sometime in like April, maybe. Yeah. And I think, so that's my guess. And then that will come out later in the year. And I think that Odin 2 will release sometime in like June. I mean, Odin 3 will release sometime in like June or July 2025. That's my guess. So Odin 2, and then of course the Odin Mini will release sometime later. The Odin Mini Pro, or whatever you want to call it, or Odin Mini 3 will release sometime later, going into like 2026. That's going to be like a follow off. But I think that we'll get the Odin 3 big model first before we get the Odin 2 Mini. The Odin 2 Mini at this point would just compete with the Retroid Pocket, and they don't want to do that, I don't think. So you notice that they released the Odin 2 Mini first, and then the Retroid Pocket 5 is now getting announced. Retroid Pocket 5 will ship now. It'll have its heyday, 4 or 5, 6 months, and then they'll announce the Retroid Pocket 5 in like Pro in like April, May area, right? Somewhere in there early next year. And then you're going to get the Odin 2 announced probably around November after the Retroid Pocket 2 ships. You're going to have it announced November, December. You want to get that Christmas money right before everybody spends all their money. You want to get that tax return money where people will spend that $300, $400 to pre-order it on Indiegogo and Kickstarter or the page or whatever. So wherever you're going to put it, right? So I think they'll get announced this Christmas. I think that'll launch in like June or July. I think they'll ship it, right? And it all lines up. And then, sometime around next Christmas, you'll have the, after the Pro 5, whatever ships, and is out. And then the Mini, whatever, the next Mini for the Retroid Pocket ships out, right? You're going to have the Mini announced sometime around like, August, September-ish, and then released, early into 2026. That's my thing. I do think that this bad boy is going to get a Gen 3 or more powerful GPU, even though we don't need it. I think they're going to go OLED. And the battery might up a little bit just for the heck of it. And the price is going to increase as a result. And I think the Odin 2 will still be available. This isn't a bad time to snatch an Odin 2. It's not. If you love the Retroid Pocket 5 and you just want to play GameCube, PS2, DS, PSP, some 3DS and stuff, some Wii, then you should rock with this. And it's smaller. You can always get the Odin Mini, of course. I don't work for Odin or anything, but this thing's pretty sweet. It looks like a PS Vita. But now we've got options. Gamers have options. And if you don't want all of that, you can grab literally an ROG Ally 7-inch. Boom. Oh, the biggest thing for the Odin 3. The biggest thing for the Odin 3 I didn't mention. I think it's going to go to a 7-inch screen. I think the Odin 2, next one, the Odin 2 Mini, I think it will keep the form factor. And I think it's going to go to a 5.5 or 6-inch screen. They're going to cut these bezels right here. See that? These bezels get cut. I think they're going to do a little bit. I think it's going to go to a 5.5-inch screen probably to match it with the Retroid. And I think that the Odin 2 is going to go to a 7-inch screen. Bezels will get cut. It'll get spread out a little bit. And I think the Odin 3 is going to have a 7-inch screen to compete with like the ROG Ally, Steam Deck, Legion Go. I think it needs to up its game in the screen department. So OLED 7-inch or 6.5-inch, something bigger than the 6-inch. 8 Gen 3, increase in RAM on the base model, increase in price all the way around. Odin 2 is still for sale, just like the Odin 1 is. We'll still be able to get the Odin 2. I don't think the Odin 2 will have a significant price decrease. I think maybe $30 to $270 or $50 to $250, but still for sale. Yep, I think that's what's going to happen. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. I'm interested in hearing what your perspective on this is. Do we need an Odin 3? Do you want an Odin 3? Do you want an Odin Mini 2? Do you want to buy it now? Do you want to wait? Do you want a Retroid Pocket 5? Right now, that's pretty sweet. You can grab them both. You can use the same micro SD card for both, I do believe. and switch around. You know, if you want to get on the go, you want to put it in your pocket, you got the 3.7-inch smaller one that's more like a Retroid Pocket 2S but upgraded, that can play GameCube and PS2 on the go. Or if you want to, you know, have a little bit more power and a little bit more size, the 5.5-inch with the crazy Indigo is wild. I mean, I'm so tempted to buy that. Honestly, I might buy it for the channel just to review, try to get those sweet Retroid Pocket views. But yeah, this is Nintenja. I'm telling you that I love gaming, and you ought to check out our Discord. It's a great place to be. I got a link down in the comments. You should check us out. We're really nice people, and some of us are ninjas on the side, you know, or former ninjas too. I got a lot of friends in that community. But yeah, you should come check us out and subscribe to the channel. Like, tell me what you think up on the bottom. I love to interact, really do, not just BS. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the video and you got something out of this. And if not, tell me it sucks. And give me some advice. Help me out with this. Quality is going to go up tremendously soon. I've got some really awesome equipment I'm about to start using. It's just time. I manage multiple stores in my real life non-Ninja endeavors, non-Nintenja endeavors. So I do stay pretty busy, and I have a lot of other things I'm involved in, but I'd love to embrace this community and dive more into it and offer you guys better content from a perspective of a ROM hacker, retro enthusiast, 90s kid, you know, super nerd. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. See you in the next video. One's popping out probably later today. Peace.